Hispanics. It's disgusting. Tom Brokaw went on MSNBC's Morning Joe show and made one of his most offensive speeches against President Trump ever. According to him, being against DACA is declaring war on Hispanics in this country. I think what happened is a continuation of the Republican determination to cut out Hispanic votes on their side, for as long as we can see. This has been going on for a long time. This is a rejection, on the part of the Republican Party, that we have Hispanic citizens in this country and other people, who, in many ways are inclined to share their values, said Brokaw. Stuart Spencer, the genius of Ronald Reagan's campaigns, he used to say we should have the Hispanic vote in our corner. These are people who family-oriented. They are faithful. They work hard. They've got all those values. But for a long, long time, the Republican Party has been declaring war on Hispanics in this country, said Brokaw. Actually, Democrats are the ones trying to make everything about race. Republicans fight about ideas and logic. So, it's hard for me to see the big picture, from a Republican point of view, Joe, going forward and just giving the back of your hand to people who have Hispanic surnames, said Brokaw. Check out the video below. Bill Maher says it's unfair that the government is helping Republican hurricane victims. HBO host Bill Maher slammed Hurricane Harvey victims for being Republican, just when we thought he couldn't get any lower. These places that got flooded, like Texas, okay, they have a low tax base. So, the federal government bails them out. Their governors, their legislators, they don't believe in climate science. It seemed like the responsible folks in this country, the people who pay a little more taxes and the people who believe in climate change, are bailing out the people who hate government, except when they need government when they're in trouble, said Maher. That seems a little unfair. Suddenly, socialism is not such a bad idea when you're standing in toxic floodwater, said Maher. After claiming that it is unfair for the government to assist Republican hurricane victims, he went on to mock conservative talk show hosts whose homes may be destroyed by Hurricane Irma. This is so interesting. Climate change, the Deniers all have beach houses in the way of the storm. Trump, Rush Limbaugh, and Coulter, the Koch brothers all have houses that are going to be wiped out, probably. I'm not gloating. It's just an inconvenient truth, said Maher. But, even though everything that scientists said was going to happen, that the waters were going to get warmer, and it's going to soup up the storms, and that Irma is the worst storm ever, and Harvey was a 501 shot, and they've had 3 years in a row with 501 shots, the right-wingers are still, no, we can't blame climate change. Yes, I agree. My theory is this has something to do with Hillary's emails, CNN just hired a brand new reporter and it will not help their image, think Playboy magazine. CNN just hired a brand new reporter that further proves what a sensationalist and one-sided network they really are. Brian Karem, the White House correspondent for Playboy, yes, that exists, just announced that he has been hired by CNN. Happy to announce that in addition to covering the WH for Playboy and the Sentinel newspapers, I will now be an on-air contributor for CNN, he tweeted. Karem is notorious for his aggressive reporting and emotional outbursts, just like Jim Acosta. Karem is notoriously rude in the briefing room. This is embarrassing for CNN, one White House correspondent told the Daily Caller. Karem is famous for his angry back and forth with Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Karem's alleged hiring has ruffled the feathers of some Washington reporters. He yelled at Sanders for Trump's comment on fake news. Sarah, come on. You're inflaming everybody right here and right now with those words. This administration has done that as well. Why in the name of heavens, any one of us, right, are replaceable, and any one of us, if we don't get it right, the audience has the opportunity to turn the channel or not read us, he screamed. After the incident, CNN had Karem on to tell his side of the story. I don't like being bullied. I've been tired of being bullied. I've been called an enemy of the people, I've been told that we're all fake media. At the end of the day, I've been browbeaten for 6 months and told I'm an enemy and, to be honest, I don't think it's accurate and it's driving a wedge between us and the public, he said. Eric Bolling has a brilliant plan to fight back after Fox execs fired him. Fox News, which is now run by Rupert Murdoch's elitist and pampered son James Murdoch as CEO of 21st Century Fox, has clearly lost its direction and its identity. Since last year, it has been on a firing spree, getting rid of many important figures including Bill O'Reilly, Roger Riles and Bill Shine. Now the executives at Fox News abruptly made the decision to also let go longtime station host Eric Bolling, who had just signed a multi-year, lucrative deal with the network. The executives are wildly claiming that die-hard Donald Trump supporter Bolling sent inappropriate sexual text messages to female colleagues. Stated Fox executives in their terse dismissal of Eric, Fox News Channel is canceling the specialists, and Eric Bolling and Fox have agreed to part ways amicably. We thank Eric for his 10 years of service to our loyal viewers and wish him the best of luck. Now, however, it seems as though Bolling has chosen what his second act will be. Commented Eric to Vicky Hyman of NJ.com, when the lights go down on my TV career, the next step is running for Senate. Bolling has built a dedicated fan base at Fox News, and he ended up being one of the network's most popular hosts. It looks as though Bolling will have a real shot at winning a U.S. Senate seat by leveraging his fan base he gained while at Fox News. Will you support Bolling's run for the Senate? Laura Ingraham exposes shocking reason why Paul Ryan is to blame for Trump's deal with Pelosi. Some Republicans are upset that President Trump made a somewhat Democratic deal with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. Ingraham exposed how this whole thing is really the fault of Paul Ryan and the rest of the House Republicans. And to hear Ben Sasse and all these people turning themselves inside and out. Mitch McConnell looks like, he's lost his best friend. What did they think was gonna happen? Asked Ingraham on Fox News Special Report with Bret Baier. They kept telling Donald Trump for several months that don't worry, this is a very complex process, this Obamacare repeal. But we got it. Then they said, wait, we almost have it on the skinny repeal, it's not as good but it's gonna be pretty good. Turns out McCain comes in, he blows the whole thing up, explains Ingraham. Time after time, Donald Trump trusted what was going on at Capitol Hill. They could not deliver a piece of legislation to his desk that actually could be signed. It wasn't possible. So what does someone who's a conservative populist do? Asked Ingraham. When he wants to move the ball down the field, he's gonna find, okay, what other player can I throw to? And the only one who's on the field for him was gonna be Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. But the Republicans have no one to blame but themselves on this, she said. What do you think of her analysis? Is she right? When will Congress do its job? Check out the video below. State Department reveals how Hillary stole one key swing state through voter fraud. During the 2016 election, Republican President Donald Trump won by an electoral college landslide. However, the distance between him and his opponent Hillary Clinton would have been even greater if she had not stolen the swing state of New Hampshire. Democrat Clinton won the highly competitive state by a razor-thin margin, thereby claiming all of its electoral college votes. However, New Hampshire House Speaker Sean Jasper recently inquired with the Department of State and the Department of Safety regarding the vote, and came back with some deeply disturbing information. According to a report by the Washington Times, Jasper learned that over 6,500 people became registered voters in the state despite having out-of-state driver's licenses. In the time between Election Day last year and the end of this past August, only 15% of those people had ended up being issued New Hampshire driver's licenses, indicating widespread fraud regarding the other 85%. Explained Trump advisor Chris Kobach in an article for Breitbart, so 5,313 of those voters neither obtained a New Hampshire driver's license nor registered a vehicle in New Hampshire. They have not followed the legal requirements for residents regarding driver's licenses, and it appears that they are not actually residing in New Hampshire. It seems that they never were bona fide residents of the state. He continued, 5,513 is a big number, more than enough to swing two very important elections. The closest major election was the contest between incumbent Republican U.S. Senator Kelly Ayotte and challenger Maggie Hassan, D. Hassan won the election by a razor-thin margin of 1,017 votes. Those 5,313 fraudulent votes were more than enough to swing the election. If 59.2% or more of them went for Hassan, then the election was stolen through voter fraud. That's likely, since the surrounding states are Democrat strongholds. Do you think Democrats need to be held accountable for their voter fraud? Lib website celebrates climate denier houses being destroyed by Hurricane Irma. It is bad enough that writer Leah Barkoukas on conservative site Town Hall stated in an article that she hopes that President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort gets a battering during Hurricane Irma. Liberal website The Daily Beast far further by stating that its writers hope that conservatives in Florida who are climate deniers gets their houses destroyed to prove to them that the man-made climate change theory is real. Wrote leftist writer Michael Daly in a so-called supercharged lesson titled Monster Hurricane Irma Barrels Toward Climate Change Deniers Playground on the site. The playground of big shot climate change deniers becomes subject to a hurricane evacuation order as of 5 p.m. Friday. Daly continued, and were it not for all the innocent souls who have been and likely will be hurt by Hurricane Irma, you might see poetic justice in homes owned by President Trump and billionaire David Koch, and commentators Rush Limbaugh and Ann Coulter being battered by a storm made the most powerful ever recorded in the Atlantic with a boost from warmer water and moister air. He then attempted to mock Ann Coulter by continuing, Coulter responded to that earlier calamity with her usual discerning insight, giving a whole other meaning to being all wet. I don't believe Hurricane Harvey is God's punishment for Houston electing a lesbian mayor, she tweeted. But that is more credible than climate change. Now a second supercharged storm, Hurricane Irma, was roaring toward the storied stretch of sand where Coulter's neighbors include her fellow blabbermouth Limbaugh. Do you find the way liberals are trying to politicize a deadly storm like Hurricane Irma disgusting? You see how much they want to kill me. Paranoid Maxine Waters has panic attack. California Representative Maxine Waters is really starting to lose it. She went on a now viral rant about how everyone is trying to kill her. I'm worried about these domestic attacks. As a matter of fact, I was forced to focus on it a little bit yesterday when in my office in Los Angeles one of the people opening the mail opened an envelope, and a bunch of powder fell out with a note about me dying and killing Hillary Clinton, and on and on and on. This is getting more frequent, and I know that we have privacy concerns and information sharing and all that, said Waters. I think we should focus on domestic terrorism also. So I would like to ask again, given all that you have said about how difficult it is and about privacy concerns, do you have any thoughts about what can we do to begin to deal with the KKK? The white nationalists, the extremists, the alt-right? Asked Waters at a House Financial Services Committee. They're on the internet, they're Breitbart. If you look at the YouTube, you see how much they want to kill me and others. What can we do? Asked Waters. First of all, Breitbart has nothing to do with the KKK, the white nationalists, the extremists, the alt-right. Breitbart has a lot of diversity in their writing staff and is very pro-Israel. Is Maxine Waters going crazy? Is it time for her to retire? Check out the video below. Fox News makes final decision about the fates of Eric Bolling and Charles Payne at the network. Fox News has made its final decision about Eric Bolling and Charles Payne. Both these men were in sexual harassment scandals. However, only one made it through these allegations. Eric Bolling has been fired from Fox, and Charles Payne gets to stay. Fox announced that it was canceling Eric Bolling's show, The Specialists. We thank Eric for his 10 years of service to our loyal viewers and wish him the best of luck, Fox said in a statement. All these attacks against Fox News anchors is all about liberals attempting to destroy the lives of Trump supporters. They aren't based in reality. This was proven when they tried to accuse Hannity of sexual harassment until the woman involved said that it didn't happen. Eric Bolling has yet to release a statement. His last tweet was on August 9 where he said, "I will continue to fight against these false smear attacks. Thank you for continued support." However, it didn't go as badly for Charles Payne. Payne made an announcement on Twitter. "I'm back hosting Making Money W/Charles Payne tonight on at Fox Business, helping Americans take control of their financial destiny," he tweeted. The drama with Payne began when he was caught having an affair with Hughes, who claimed that she was blackballed by the network after their relationship ended. But it's all over now. Will you miss Eric Bolling? George Takei launches sexist attack against Ivanka. She is a weak, powerless woman. Liberals are doing everything they can to attack President Trump and his family. They launched a petition against Ivanka for supposedly not doing enough to stop Donald Trump. The economy has been doing incredibly since he was elected, but liberals are blaming him for hurricanes. Change the name of Hurricane Irma to Hurricane Ivanka, said one petition. Hurricane Harvey in Houston was a prime example of how climate change makes hurricanes more powerful and dangerous, says the petition. Unfortunately, the Trump administration is on a fast track setting climate progress back, which will only exacerbate the effect of future storms, it says. Even Ivanka Trump, who promised to try to influence her father on certain issues like climate change, has quietly accepted the administration's lack of action on this very serious issue. Ivanka Trump can say what she wants about climate change, but as long as she quietly stands back, she remains complicit in the destruction we all face at the hands of her father's administration, says the petition signed by almost 13,000 people. That's why we're petitioning the World Meteorological Association to rename Hurricane Irma to Hurricane Ivanka, it says. Star Trek star and liberal hate-mongerer George Takei saw this petition and launched a sexist attack of his own against Ivanka. Wrong to rename Hurricane Irma after Ivanka. After all, Irma is a powerful, fast-moving storm while Ivanka is weak, powerless and ineffective, tweeted George Takei.